have everything. Woo! I have an achievement because I am now an enchanter. Hey guys, what is happening? Jon-Michael Booth here, and welcome to another exciting edition of JJ Plays Modded Minecraft. Today, we are going to be doing some things that we set up in the previous couple episodes. But first, I want to show you the culmination of some of our effort. Yes, I like the word culmination. I use it quite a bit. I'm going to go into bat form just so I can show you exactly what's going on here. If you recall, I started to build some of these growth pulsars with all the diamonds and the stone and the Minicio that I was growing. I've managed to go down quite a bit here. Go down to about here, I guess. But I have much further to go, as you can see. So, but I also wanted to show you some of the other things I was growing. So I'm now growing Minicio. I'm also growing Enderman crops, which is kind of weird. Enderman crops, I'm growing diamond crops, I'm growing Minicio. The two with the growth pulsars are Minicio crops, so I'm just growing those. I'm doing a little bit of an experiment. Instead of just stacking all the growth pulsars in one, I thought I would try, two different columns. I don't know really what's more efficient. Probably all one, but whatever. It's getting the job done. As far as Enderman essence, check this out. I created this Enderman, I created Enderman essence from Enderman seeds, and I created Enderman seeds from a couple Ender pearls that I collected. So let's take a look at the seeds. Here's the seeds. No, that's not the seeds at all. It's these ones, these seeds. So I used some Imperial essence, I used some Ender pearls, and I used some Minicio seeds to get Enderman seeds. And I could only afford one because this Imperial stuff is really expensive, if you recall. But that's all I needed because just, in standing and watering and doing some stuff, I managed to get a whole pile of this Enderman essence. And if I take the Enderman essence and I put it in a 9 grid like this, I can get a whole pile of Ender pearls, which is fantastic because that's actually exactly what I was after today, is Ender pearls. So let's go into our house. I don't need that many Ender pearls, but why not? So remember, last episode we made this thing called a magma crucible, and I told you that the magma crucible can be used to melt things down. Well, check this out. If I put a stack of Ender pearls in there, it starts to grind them down and make this stuff called resonant ender. And there's a bunch of things we can do with this resonant ender, but the thing I want to do with them, we're going to do today. So, but first we need to build another machine. So the machine we have to build, well actually first let me just get rid of all this this stuff because I don't need it. Give myself another pickaxe because I like having my stuff in my inventory. But the thing we want to build today is called a fluid transposer, and that looks like this. So this is made with a machine frame, which we made last episode, a couple copper gears, another one of these redstone reception coils, some glass, and a bucket. And I think I have all those things. Yes, I do. So that was easy. We made ourselves a fluid transposer. Now, check this out. One thing that you will notice about the magma crucible is that this side has an orange square on it. The top has a blue square, the bottom has a blue square, but the side has an orange square. And that is because you can actually set these things as far as input and output. And right now, the orange side is the output, and it's set to output right through the side, right over here. So if I put this fluid transposer beside it, in fact, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go to the configuration and I'm going to turn that off. Then I'm going to put this fluid transposer beside it. This thing is set to input from the side, Actually, I think I want this to be blue. Yes, because I want the input to go here, I think. Nah, I can never remember this. We'll mess with the configuration in a minute. Now I can turn this to orange, and there you go. See, it drained right out, and that's because it filled in right in here. So that's pretty cool. I now have 4,000 millibuckets of resonant ender. This machine, the fluid transposer, is designed to take that fluid and put it into something. And we're going to build the thing that we're going to put it into today. So I grabbed a couple materials that I'm going to need. So the first thing I'm going to need is some nether quartz. So let's take some nether quartz and we're going to stick it in our, let's see, what machine are we going to put that into? I guess the alloy smelter? Yeah, and it begins to cook down, and it's going to give us, well, something that disappears really fast because it's going into this hopper, which is then feeding into this chest. I've got a lot of things going. It's going to give us this stuff called fused quartz, and I need a bunch of that. I think I need about 8 pieces of fused quartz. So while we're waiting for that to cook, we need to take one of our blaze rods. Now check this out. This is actually a really good example of what these machines are for. Because if I take my blaze rod and I stick it in my crafting station, I get this stuff called blaze powder. But look how much I get. For every 1 blaze rod, I get 2 blaze powder. But if I take that same blaze rod and I come over to my sag mill and I stick it in here, it begins to grind down pretty fast. And look at that. I get 4 blaze powder, plus as a bonus, I get a sulfur. So this, these machines can actually double or sometimes even more any particular product that you have. So pretty cool stuff. So what I want to do with those blaze rods is create this stuff called pyrotheum dust. And pyrotheum dust is made by taking blaze powder, combining it with sulfur, pulverized coal, and redstone. And if I do that, it should, actually let's put it all here. Let's put some sulfur in there, and okay, I now have 8 of these pyrotheum dust. Awesome. Next thing I need to do is create this stuff called, sorry, I keep looking over here because I've got stuff written down. I need to create this stuff called enderium. Enderium. So the stuff I want to make first is this stuff called enderium base. And the enderium base is made with tin and silver and shiny, and that'll give me 4. But I need 8 of these things. And I think I put the materials I needed in here. Yes, I did. 1, 2, 3. So let's come back over to our alloy smelter. Okay, the fused glass is done. 1, 2, 3. So we'll put that in there, and that starts cooking down, and hopefully, yes, there it is, the enderium base. And we have lots of enderium base. So 8 of those, 8 of those. And next, so we want to make these things called enderium ingots. So we start with our enderium base, and we want to turn it into these enderium ingots. And there's a few different ways to do this. What we have is an alloy smelter, so we're going to take our enderium base, combine it with our pyrotheum dust, and some ender pearls, and we're going to get some of these enderium ingots. So I think I have 8 of these, so I need 4 of these, and I need 8 of these. So let's get our ender pearls. Okay, and we're ready to go back to our alloy smelter. And 1, 2, 3. And this, I think we only need 3 of. So that's going to cook down. Now this process is a little bit slow, even though I have this double layer capacitor in there. So we're just going to have to wait a minute or 2 until that finishes. So I'll put this away while I'm waiting. And actually, see if I can remember how to build this. That. And I think I can do 2 of them. The enderium goes around the outside, and then there's something that goes right in the middle. And I can't remember what that is. Okay, I remembered what it is. It's a diamond. I put 2 diamonds right in the middle, and now we're just waiting until our enderium is all finished cooking, and then we'll fill in this, and we'll get the thing that we were hoping to get. While we are waiting, there is something that I've been meaning to build for several episodes, and for some reason I just keep forgetting to do it. So I'm going to come outside and do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1, 2, 1, 2. And there. And that is a library. But that's not actually exactly what I wanted to build. You guys probably know where this is coming, or where this is going, I mean, but if you don't, then you'll be surprised. What I want to build is an enchantment table. So I need a book, I need 2 diamonds, and I need some obsidian, and I'm fairly sure, yes, I have everything. Woo! I have an achievement because I am now an enchanter. I shall take my enchantment table and I will plop it down right there. And this is pretty cool. The reason I did this is because I've got all these bookcases surrounding it, and when you have a bunch of bookcases surrounding it, your enchantment table gets infused with all of the energy from the books, and then you can enchant to high levels. So now that I have an enchantment table, I need something to enchant. What do you think I should enchant? I know what I should enchant. I'm going to make a brand new diamond pickaxe, and that is going to be what I enchant. And hopefully I'll get something like efficiency, which will save me some time. Let's see. Boom. What is it? Silk Touch. Oh, that is so cool. Silk Touch. I'm not sure if you guys know what Silk Touch is, but Silk Touch allows you to mine blocks instead of getting the actual ore. Let me see if I can give you an example here. I'm going to come down here. I'm going to grab an iron pickaxe. Of course, I don't have one, so let's just make one. Bang, there. And then let's go down into my new mine. That's not really a mine. It's kind of just a shaft. So check this out. I'm going to find something like, there, maybe this iron ore right here. And you guys know that normally, if you take a regular pickaxe, like an iron pickaxe, for instance, and you try to mine your iron, you get the ore. And see, my brain isn't working today. I tried to mine something that gives me the ore anyway. Let's come over here to the lapis. You try to mine the lapis, and you actually get lapis. But if you use a Silk Touch pickaxe and you mine it, you actually get the block of lapis. And what's neat about that is you can actually grind this down and hopefully get even more than you would just from straight mining. I'm not sure if lapis is going to work as well because lapis already gives you quite a bit. I got 5 that time from that one lapis, which is quite a bit. So let's go in and let's check out how many we get if we try to put it in, say, our sag mill. Lapis up there. That grinds down, and we get 9. We got 9 lapis, and we also got a cobblestone. So that's pretty cool. Anyway, yeah, actually, this gives you a good example of what you can do with these machines as well. I kind of showed you before, but I'll show you again. If I take this iron and I plop it into my sag mill, it gives me 2 pulverized iron plus it gives me a pulverized tin, plus it gives me a pulverized ferrous metal, and it gives me a cobblestone. So I get all of these resources. The most important is the pulverized iron, though. So you know, if I come over to a furnace and I plop in a regular iron ore, I'm just going to get one iron ingot out of it. But if I plop in my pulverized iron, which I got 2 from one ore, each one of those is going to give me an iron ingot. So again, this is ore doubling at the absolute finest. I can get iron ingots, and there's another iron ingot, and I know I just wasted a bunch of coal doing that, but hey, it's all for the betterment of showing you guys something cool about these machines. Alright, our alloy smelting is done. We've got our enderium. Let's come back over to our crafting station. So we'll put our fused quartz in, or yeah, that's what it is. We'll put our diamond in, we'll put our enderium ingots around, and there you go. We get these things called tesseract frames, and I now have 2 of those. These things are super, super cool, because now I take the tesseract frames and I put them inside of our fluid transposer, and this stuff is going to slowly get put into the tesseract frame, and we're going to end up with a filled up tesseract frame. And then there's one more step we have to take in order to finalize what it is we're actually making. And if you haven't figured it out by now, what we're actually making is something called a tesseract. More specifically, I'm making 2 tesseracts. And if you don't know what that is, it is a way to wirelessly transfer items, fluids, and power. I typically don't bother with items and I don't bother with fluids, but I do bother with power, because rather than sending these power conduits all over the place, I can send stuff wirelessly. So the last thing I need to do is just figure out exactly how to make my finalized tesseract. And in order to do that, you take your full tesseract frame and then you surround it with a lot of different kinds of material, or any one of a number of different types of material. So let's see if I have that material, and of course I don't. So how do I make that material? I need bronze. Bronze is, let's see, how do you make, well, that's the wrong kind of bronze. I know I can make this stuff fairly easily. Let's see, not the Tinker's Construct. Let's try this one. Mechanism. Nope. Maybe I should just type in bronze and see all the different types. So there are lots of different mods I have installed that provide bronze. So mechanism I looked at, Tinker's Construct I looked at, thermal foundation, I think this is the one I want. Yes, because the thermal foundation one is pretty easy to make. All you do is you use your alloy smelter, here you go, and we use copper and tin. So 3 pieces of copper, 1 piece of tin, and we get 4 bronze ingots, and we need, how many do we need? 8 of them. So let me get 6 copper and 2 tin and put them in our alloy smelter. Copper. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I need tin. 1, 2. Over to the alloy smelter. Boom, boom. And then we'll just make sure this is actually going to work. Yes, we have bronze. And hopefully I did the math right. Take my bronze, come over here, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Tesseract. And tesseract. I now have 2 tesseracts. These things are super cool. Let me show you what good a tesseract is. I am going to plop this guy down, the first one, right over here in the corner on top of this energy acceptor. Not for any reason other than it fits there. So I'm going to call this power. channel 1. Yes, there we go. So this is power channel 1. The configuration is going to be to send, just send power. I don't need it to send or receive items or fluids, but I want it to send power. So basically it's going to take power out of the conduits that are in the wall behind it, and it's going to send it wirelessly to something else. And guess what it's going to send it to? Well, first I need my crescent hammer, because I need to take apart some things out here and over here. And now just get rid of these things. I'll take my tesseract, plunk it in there, and then the same thing, make sure it's set to the same channel. Make sure this one is set to receive energy. Oops. Receive only. Perfect. And now, look at that. It's so cool. It's like it goes on forever. Neat. Now I am sending power wirelessly to my farming station. You can see it's still getting power. It's at 99980 out of 100,000 RF. And now I don't have to worry about these conduits anymore. Well, at least not out to this guy. But basically what this means is now I can fill this entire area with these growth pulsars eventually when I get enough. And I won't have to worry about leaving a gap for the conduit. So I think, guys, let me get into safety here before I finish my episode here. But I think that's going to be it for this episode. So let me transform back. And I'm inside the wall. There we go. That's me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really enjoy making these series, this series of videos. And if you like watching that series, click the thumbs up button. Thank you so much for watching. You know you guys can subscribe if you have not yet already, so that you never miss an episode that I make. And if you want to leave me a comment, let me know how you feel about tesseracts and how cool these things are, and if you think the same thing I do, that they are super, super cool. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you guys later.